We consider it a blessing for us to be living in Rhode Island as Muslims because of the love and the care that we have seen every time we're hit with a tragedy. And very often our elected officials are right there with us. Mayor Lorna may have come in a little late, but I want him to know that this event was inspired by him, the City of Kindness, when we were planning this event. And he was here on Monday when we had the vigil, and we really spread the picture. He was speaking with the baby, holding the baby in a carriage. I tried to give him a seat so he could rest with the baby, but he insisted that he would speak with holding the baby. It's been very inspiring to our community. We shared that, Mayor, just for your information. And as continuing on the theme of the City of Kindness of Providence, and this, know your Muslim neighbor, getting to know each other, I'd like to invite Mayor Elorza to the podium to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for the very, very important time and this very important moment today. I want to thank Imam Abdul Latif. I also want to thank Imam Fareed Ansari and all of the leaders that bring us here today, including the senior senator representing the state of Rhode Island, Jack Reed, and our Congressman David Cicilline. I appreciate you all for being here. And we also have our Chief of Police, Hugh Clements, and I think he's outside, but if I can just have everyone, please join me in recognizing the Providence Police Department, the best police department in the United States of America. They work to keep us safe every single day. And I want to thank everyone once again. In this time in our country, our children, our residents, our undocumented, they all watch TV, and they think the image of politics that they think dominates is simply what they hear on Fox News, CNN, and the back and forth every day on the national media. But the truth is that while that might be the case in Washington, D.C., things are very different at the local level. At the local level, we think different, we talk different, and we act different. So at the same time that the President and our federal government was issuing a Muslim ban and denying entry to folks at airports throughout the United States, here in Providence, what we were doing, we were rolling out a 25-foot portrait, and we put it on the side of a building of the first first Syrian family that came to refugees here to Providence. And so instead of sending the message that we're closing our eyes, we're closing our hearts, and we're closing our doors, in Providence we send the message that we welcome folks from outside, even if you look different, even if you worship different, even if you love different. And so that's what I want everyone to walk away here from here today, is that at the local level things are very different politically than they are at the national level. So then the question is, what do we do with that? And it's incredibly important that we continue to speak out against the bigotry, the injustice, and all of the words that we hear at the national level. But that's not enough. We also have to take this opportunity, seize the moment, and actually make our city even more welcoming, more attractive to those who want to come from outside of our borders. And I sat down recently with Imam Abdul Latif and also Imam Fareed Ansari. We were meeting with a group of religious leaders throughout the city. We spoke about those things that are missing in our community. And when you think about it, right now in our world, not just here in Providence, but really everywhere, almost every single person here today has more stuff, meaning material stuff, than any of our ancestors could ever dream of having. Now, if we would go back 100 or 200 years and tell our ancestors that we would have all this stuff, they'd probably think, wow, life would be bliss. We'd all be taking vacations all the time. There'd be no need for additional work. Instead, what we have is very different. What makes us really concerned here in the city of Providence is that diseases of despair, such as anxiety, fear, depression, suicides, they're all on the rise. So how can it be that in a moment when we have so much, there's still so much that's missing? And so with the entire community of faith representing Providence and outside of our borders, we set out to fill this void. And we don't know exactly what it takes. We don't know exactly what we need to do to fill that void. But we do know one thing, that if we recognize the humanity that we have in each other, that if we treat each other according to the golden rule, treat others the way that we want to be treated, and simply act with more kindness and compassion, then we're going to fill that void. And what we did together is we launched the City of Kindness initiative here in the city of Providence. I'm sure many of you have heard the term Southern hospitality. Well, hopefully when we're done, it's going to be known as Providence hospitality as well. If we open our hearts, we can also open our minds, and we can create that city on a hill that we can all feel proud to be a part of. And I know it's not going to be easy, but I ask every single one of you to also be that person that leads with kindness and leads with compassion in our words and our deeds to create the city of kindness for the entire city of Providence. So I want to thank you all for being part of this movement, for being part of this process, and I'm confident that we're creating a city that's not just more welcoming and opening to everyone outside of our city, but we're also building a foundation for something really powerful that's going to transcend what we have here today and fill that void of people feeling left out in the cold. We are stronger when we're working together, and this kindness and compassion initiative will help bring us further together. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone.